Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the release day of The Sins of the Father. Now, I ended up getting up at 4 in the morning, but, well, you didn't really actually have to because there was a pretty severe bug in the game that required them to do a server rollback. So the update didn't actually get released until 7 or 8 a.m. my time. Now, unfortunately, the first few minutes of this video, the initial audio was corrupted, but we're just starting off with the Sins of the Father. We're following loosely a quest guide that is on the wiki, but that's not going to be super accurate at this point, as well, not too many people have actually done it. Now, this actually marks like the very first time that I've ever started the quest when it was actually released. So I'm actually one of the first, I mean, not the first few people, but the first couple hundred that maybe to actually finish the quest. Which means if we do get a blood shard drop or we do get a useful item, we probably have a good shot of selling it for a lot of money. Add rows to make top number, columns make bottom numbers. What the fuck is going on with this puzzle? Okay, we figured out the puzzle. The secret is the flags don't do anything. And you speak to the following Myrick members. Kale Forshaw, are they here? Okay, we're just gonna go pick up our disguise. We need this to get into Darkmeyer, and I believe every time after you go to Darkmeyer, you need it to access the bank. That's what I've been told. So we need the Vyrewatch top, bottom, and legs, which we'll go ahead and just buy right now. Now in this quest, there are, it looks like 3 boss fights. There's kind of a really easy one at the beginning, a also pretty easy one halfway through. The only trick to this boss fight is you want to stamp out the fires as soon as they grow, otherwise your damage is going to be reduced. Also, they do poison you, so if you want to bring an anti-poison of some sort, that could help out, but the poison damage is only 4, so it's really minimal. It seems like for the most part that the vampire bosses are attacking with magic. So I'm bringing some melee gear just because you have to use the Evander's Flail, but I'm also bringing D'hide just to get a little bit more magic resistance. Seemed to work pretty well for this boss fight at least. Now once again, if you remember from the Darkness of Hallowell quest, it is much quicker to actually get sent to the mine, fill up the day out minecart with I think 15 ore, and then you just get teleported pretty much right to where you need to go. Highly recommend doing it that way. I want to access my bank account. No, that's all they say. Okay, and the final kind of puzzle part of this quest is we just need to set some water levers to actually chop this tree. Okay, so we're on the final boss fight now. We went ahead and made our blisterwood sickle. Now once again for the boss fight, I just ended up bringing some magic gear, so just D'hide and as much strength bonus as I could do. It's dead. Sweet. Unless there's the mother form. Oh, there is another form. I was kind of joking, but oh well. Oh my god, he's on 5 HP forever. Oh, shit. Alright guys, there we go. We finished the Sins of the Father quest. It wasn't terribly hard, and I mean, the actual quest guide within the game was pretty self-explanatory. But we are going to get, for one, 45,000 runecrafting experience. That alone makes us kind of worth it. We're going to get the Blisterwood Flail, access to Darkmeyer and everything in the city, which we're going to go ahead and start exploring. We got a runecrafting level, thank god, 66 runecrafting. I think this quest maybe would have taken me an hour, 45 minutes, although I was going kind of slowly because there wasn't a whole lot of information out, and the puzzle slowed me down by about 20 minutes. But overall, a pretty fun quest. I would say, yeah, I guess that's about a master level quest. Anyone who is max probably won't have much of an issue with it, but I could see it being kind of challenging for mid to low levels. Okay, so now that we're done with the quest, we can teleport right to Darkmeyer, correct? Yes, that's good. And we're going to try killing some of the Vyrewatch Sentinels. I guess we could protect for... yeah, we're probably going to protect for melee. Now, these guys actually do drop blood shards. We don't have them as a vampire task or anything, so it's really going to depend on our luck. I don't know what the drop rate is. I don't think anyone does. There is a bank here, so we don't actually have to run too far. Oh, what do you... vampire dust. Okay, that's nothing. And bark. Okay, interesting. Okay, it looks like you can't access the bank unless you have the disguise on. Not a big deal though, because you can teleport like right back here with the amulet anyway. Okay, it doesn't seem like they can hit through prayer, so we're just gonna bring a full inventory of prayer potions, and we're just gonna start killing them. I'm gonna try to go for a nice sizable loot tab, and we can see what kind of money you can get here. See if we can get lucky and get a blood shard or something like that. It is pretty quick to bank, but right now we're mainly just going for the main big drop, which is the blood shard, so we'll have to see whether or not I want to bank or not. Okay, so right now, realistically, I should be killing them with prayer gear. I'm not really doing this exactly just for money. Right now, I just want to kill as many as quickly as possible. So the gear we ended up bringing is just max melee. The only weapon right now I think you can kill him with is the Avandis Flail, although you might be able to bring one of those rings and maybe damage it with something else. But anyway, just going with melee gear. They're pretty quick kills. They might be a decent enough Slayer task, but it's really going to come down to how much the Blood Shard is actually worth, what the drop rate looks like it's going to be, because right now we have no clue. So I think I want to kill maybe 2, 3, 4, 500 of these. I'm not quite sure. We're going to have to see how quick they actually die. And we're going to make a loot video today, and then tomorrow we're going to maybe try out the agility training method and then the runecrafting training method. I had another video planned, but it's looking not super hot. Alright, this place is getting really packed right now. I'll show you what my loot looks like so far. We've just crested the 100 KC here. So right now the loot looks pretty average. We're getting about 343k in loot on 100-ish kills so far. Honestly, I mean, with the way I'm running through supplies right now, that probably doesn't even cover supplies, but that, again, not really the point right now. We're just looking for general drop rates, not looking to make too much money, unless, of course, we do get that blood shard. Now, this place is getting really busy. I'm just going to teleport out of here and just show you how I'm banking right now. Okay, right now I'm just teleporting to the Theater of Blood, just because it's convenient and I don't have to bring an extra item. Okay, after banking and healing our stats, we'll go back to Darkmeyer. Now, one thing I've noticed is a ton of people right now are crowding around the bank area, and you can't really get consistent kills. You need about 2 vampires to be consistently killing them. Now, the location I have found to be better is a bit further down here. It's just on the crest of where the Vyrewatch Sentinels are located. Keep one thing in mind here. Hopefully no one took my spot. If you go too far, you're going to stop killing the Vyrewatch Sentinels, and you're going to start killing regular Vyrewatch. Like, look, there's one right there. Those do not drop the blood shard, I'm pretty sure. And that would be very disappointing, spending the entire afternoon killing the wrong monster. And now for the blood shard, again, we don't know the drop rate. One thing that could be a factor is being on the Slayer task or not, because that's the way the new Basilisk monsters work. And it does seem like that's a pretty strong possibility. Now, after you complete the Sins of the Father, you can actually get a Slayer task unlock for Konar, Duradel, and Chelder, which would be good. We could attempt to get that a bit later, but I don't know. We already killed 109 vampires. Like, you're going to run through that Slayer task pretty quick, and if, for example, the drop rate is 1 in 1,000, who knows, then it'll be a lot of points wasted, and at this point, we don't know that yet. Okay, so this spot, definitely the best I've found so far. We're now up to about 200 Vyrewatch Sentinel kills, and we've been doing this for close to 2 hours now, so roughly I'm getting about 100 kills an hour. Now, for the first half of that, I was getting contested for the kills a lot more. Over here, though, pretty much just constantly killing them, so I would say 100 kills an hour is possible. Now, there's a couple different methods I've noticed people doing. Some people are cannoning them, and that will increase your kills a bit. It's not a multi-combat zone, I don't think, anywhere here, so you're only going to be just increasing your single kill potential. So we're coming up here on 250,000 kills. It's kind of a weird way to say that. Now, what do I think the rarity of the blood shard is right now? Well, one thing I kind of want to go have a quick look at while I continue killing these things here. Now, one thing I want to do is have a look on GE Tracker, because blood shard has been added. Now, there's a potential it's just not tracking it yet, but the other potential is that none have been traded yet. Now, if that's true, that would be a very strong indication that the blood shard is really rare, because there are a ton of people here right now. I'm not sure how many are getting killed per hour, but I mean, like, some people must have gotten a blood shard by now, you'd think. Now, my XP per hour here isn't great. I mean, it's not as awful as some other things. We're getting a pretty consistent 70,000 XP per hour, and on a Slayer task, that would be a bit higher as well. But I'm kind of getting the feeling that the chance of getting the drop off task could be quite a bit higher, but let's keep killing them. The fact that these drop so many blood runes is a bit of a tease. I keep thinking it's a blood shard for some reason. But we're coming up on kill count number 250. It's been about 2 hours. I think we did another half an hour before we really started tracking it. But let's just say roughly 100 kills an hour. So yeah, it's going to come down to the blood shard, because the actual GP per hour here from the regular drops, maybe 500k, but you have to keep in mind how many resources I'm using. And even if you're doing this a bit more efficiently, you'd still probably spend a fair bit in prayer potions. So in my mind, these are kind of like the Basilisk Knights. There's probably going to be just one rare drop that you can get that probably will help offset things a bit. But one thing we kind of want to keep in mind here is the Basilisk Jaw is the Beston's Law upgrade, which means it's going to retain a lot of value even if a lot of people are farming them because it's so rare. The Blood Shard is not going to be nearly as impactful. In my opinion, we don't quite know yet. The Blood Shard just doesn't seem that impactful. I mean, I'm sure it's going to be useful somewhere, but it's really going to come down to what cost it's actually worth. I'm sure on day one it's going to be worth a lot, but unless it is ridiculously rare, it's probably going to drop quickly under 10 mil, I would imagine. Now we are drawing some pretty massive conclusions here, but if the Blood Shard drops at a rate of 1 to the 1000, it's worth 10 mil. Then you might add on an extra mil per hour here, which should make this task decent. If it goes any lower than that and it's any rarer than that, then I probably wouldn't do this task ever just because it wouldn't really be worth it. Now those are just day one impressions. We have no idea yet. Don't take that as gospel by any means. I don't really have enough information to make an actual judgment on. What I do like about them is they are pretty damn AFK. I mean, like, once you find a good spot, you can just AFK here with Protect Melee on, you're good to go. And for how spread out and the fact that you have to use the Blisterwood Flail, the XP per hour isn't awful. I mean, 70k an hour is okay. Okay, let's put the total loot on screen. After about 2.5 hours, we ended up with about 1 mil in loot. Overall, I think I may have lost money just from all the prayer potions and whatnot. And let's be real here, these Vampire Dusts probably are not going to be worth anything. They have absolutely no use. And beyond the Blood Shard, they don't really drop anything too special. We got some Rune Kite Shields, a bunch of Rune Daggers, some Adamant Plate Bodies, but everything else kind of random. I got a little bit scared when I saw the Wild Blood Seed because it kind of looked a bit like a Blood Shard. So I think I probably killed enough of these for now. That is loot from about 260 Vyrewatch Sentinels and what you could expect if you don't get the Blood Shard. Anyway guys, thanks for watching. Tomorrow most likely is going to be the agility training method, and maybe I'll go try something else as well. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, I always appreciate it if you leave the video a like, and I'll see you next time.